Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap in Review, I'm having a soda, and tonight I'll be discussing Unhinged Kallie by Brooklyn Cross. I do have this beautiful physical copy, but I did read the version off of KU. Of course, I'm giving my honest opinion. These are the highlights and the content warnings. And my rating for this book is 5 stars, so what's it about? So this book is about Kallie, who grew up idolizing her father, Kane Buchanan, also known as the Chameleon, the country's most infamous serial aliver. Now, she has always known the truth about her family and has never flinched away because just like her father and uncle, she has the same dark urges. The issue with her, however, is controlling her impulses, especially when it comes to Carter. Because while the world may think he's her brother, they're wrong, and hiding her obsession for him is getting harder. Now, for Carter, he has lived with Callie's family since he was 2 years old and has known for a long time what the family likes to do in the basement. So to survive, he does everything he can to not draw Kane's attention, which means he buries his feelings for Kallie deep down so that Kane never finds out. But when a threat from the past that nearly destroyed the family previously returns, Carter is forced into an uneasy alliance with Kane, all to protect the one person they both care about. Because whatever the world may think of her, she belongs with him, and he is done pretending otherwise. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this 5 stars. Now, I had an absolute blast reading this book, and that probably says that there's something wrong with me, and I'm okay with that. Now, something I really enjoyed about this book is that it actually started off from Kane and Kirby's perspective, and then evolved into Kallie and Carter's book. And that's something I really enjoy with second-generation books, is revisiting the couples that I originally fell in love with that made me want to read what happens to their children. So I definitely enjoyed those chapters. Now, this is Kallie's book, and I will say it is definitely dark, don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, Kane's book is a smidge darker simply from the element of what he was doing to Kirby in his book. But this book is a little bit more emotionally charged because the characters that you love and care about are not safe. And that's all I'm going to say, but it was a lot of fun. Now, when it comes to our characters, we first have Kallie, who is just like her father and uncle when it comes to their darker urges, but she's more like her uncle when it comes to her impulse control problem, especially when she perceives people as trying to take Carter away from her. She definitely embodies the touch him and die trope, as well as she has no problem unaliving someone who annoys her or just for the fun of it. So she's definitely morally black. Now, I really enjoyed reading about a female serial unaliver for once, and I definitely think it made for an exciting story, especially when we throw Carter into the mix as the normal one trying to survive in this family. But in a way, he's become so desensitized to it that when he tries to protect or reason with Kallie when her darker urges come out, he really just shakes his head and goes, oh, that's just Kallie, when she gives into those urges. And I really enjoyed it. But surprisingly, Carter has his own darkness. Not as dark as Callie's, of course, but when it comes to protecting Kallie and keeping her safe, you will see those darker thoughts come out. And I really enjoyed that. The two of them had some really great chemistry, and I really loved their possessiveness and obsessiveness when it came to each other. Now, when it comes to the story, it was a dark and twisted and bloody one that I definitely enjoyed, probably more than I should have. Now, make sure to check your triggers, as this is not a dark romance, this is a horror romance, because these characters are not redeemable because they like what they've done. So make sure you're okay with what you're about to read. Now, this book is currently available. I would recommend it, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.